even after death, we are not safe.
Everywhere. As a woman, we are a commodity in the outer area, and anything and everything can happen with us.
If both the genders try to solve the problem, then yeah, we might have a good and developed India.
Place, a comfort, a place where you can be yourself.
We belong to our homes, so if our homes are not safe, then how will we be safe around?
Hello and welcome to another episode of City Beats only on Odisha Post Live. This is Rajeshri and today's episode is a little bit different. We are stepping beyond fun and diving into something that truly matters, the Women Reservation Bill. From representation in politics to real challenges women face every day, we are out on the streets asking some honest, bold questions. So, let's find out.
Have you heard about the Women Reservation Bill?
Yes, I have heard because it's in news, like it's everywhere. So yes, I have heard.
So, what's your understanding of it, and do you think reserving seats for women in parliament is necessary in today's India?
Generally means that 33% seats will be reserved in both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, and there will be a proper representation of women as it should be. I of course support it because there is a lack of representation. The way the ruling government is trying to villainize the opposition, saying that the bill was rejected in the parliament, even though it was already passed in 2023 with such a good margin of votes. But again, I don't know why they are doing it. Maybe because of the general election, like the upcoming general election, and they want a bill in, and they got it through the opposition. So I don't think that the whole issue is all about, like, the intention of the ruling government is about the reservation of women, but it is mostly about to pass the delimitation bill, and the women reservation bill serves as a smoke screen in this case.
I think it is not needed for now because we already had the 33% reservation, and by going with the stats, we did not see much increase in women's participation. So increasing that reservation, that kind of disrupts the merit base, reservation above than some limit can actually harm the actual meritocracy that is needed for a politician to perform well in this field. So I think the 33% reservation is quite abundant enough already, and more through delimitation is not needed.
If you are joining politics, so what steps would you take and what challenges, especially as a young woman, do you think you might face?
There, I will be always mocked about my age. Nonetheless, the experience that I've had as a woman on everywhere, as a woman, we are a commodity in the outer area, and anything and everything can happen with us. I will be outlooked, I will be downtrodden for the place I've come from, because I am a common woman and I have no, links to any political parties or any famous people.
As we all know, there's nepotism in politics, so I might face few challenges regarding to it.
I believe that if once I get into administration or some field where I can actually influence the public and make them aware that what are your rights, and you cannot be influenced just by food or money, and the real democracy lies in your hands. So I'll try my best to use my position of authority to actually make the people aware, so that it will help me in my political career.
First of all, as a woman, I might face gender biases, and there might be safety concerns, or people won't take me seriously because I'm a woman.
In your opinion, what is the biggest issue women face today that needs urgent attention? And do you think women leaders would approach these issues differently than men?
There is not a single problem. Everything that's happening with us is a problem. Like, even at workplaces, schools, they talk about hospitals, everything all together. And we living in a society which is highly patriarchal, and even the religion, somewhere or the other, is taking a stance towards patriarchy. So, of course, we are always subverted. We are oppressed in every possible matter. And yes, I do feel a well-aware, a well-read women leader will look out for these matters, of course.
Women are nowadays much unsafe in their homes as well. It's not just limited to external environment. So if we try to inculcate effective measures in order to safeguard women, then we might have a good and a very developed society. Being a women can understand women very better. But I would say that it's not a specific gender thing, because there are a lot many men who have a good and a constructive perception about women as well. So if both the genders try to solve the problem, then yeah, we might have a good and developed India.
It is still the safety that issue we are facing at every level, be it in school, college, or after a job, or after being an elderly, a senior citizen, or even after death. We are not safe. Women leaders can approach this issue. A person who is already going through the same situation can obviously provide a better scenario and propose better solutions for that.
If given a chance, what would be your top priority? Safer road, safer home, or safer workplace, and why?
I hope that every place is a safe place for us, but maybe home, because at the end of the day, you are back at home and you need that safe place, a comfort, a place where you can be yourself. And I feel like if my home is a safer place, I will be much more comfortable, happy, and
Home will be the first priority, because we become where we belong from, right? So we belong to our homes. So if our homes are not safe, then how will we be safe around the world?
A safer workplace, then a safer road, and I am safe at my home, so I do not feel that personal need.
Safer home, because at the end of the day, when you get exhausted of your work and of daily movement or the daily commutation, you'll eventually find the comfort at your own place. If there is no comfort or safety in your own place, how come will the person be able to work efficiently at his or her own workplace? Yeah.
And that's a wrap on today's special episode of City Beats. From powerful opinions to thought-provoking takes, one thing is clear: conversations like this are just the beginning. So, keep questioning, keep speaking up, and keep the conversation going. Till then, stay tuned to Odisha Post Live for more such updates. See you in the next episode.